honor to invite Alexander Zinell as the CEO of Fraport Greece, and it operates 14 airports. One, we try to make this the filling of two of the airports that operate, that is Mykonos and Santorini, among others. Then we cooperate for many years, and last 2 years, as I said, we organized an event in Rhodos. We moved back to a Greek island concept, then the phone is yours.
Thank you. Would you mind if I don't use the podium and if I just move a little closer? Because I was over there and the, what do you call these things again? They're pretty noisy, so I'll try to speak loud and make it short. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear colleagues, aviation aficionados, I think that's the right word for you, for all of us. It's a great honor to be here, and I feel very privileged to speak to you. Thank you, Costa, for the invitation. It's always great to be here. I like the format because it's small, it's personal, it's close, and we have a good chance to talk rather than the big conferences and the big meetings where you don't know who to speak first, and once you start a conversation, you're interrupted by somebody else passing by. So it's really, I'm happy to be here, and I hope we will find ways of exchanging new ideas and thinking about what will shape the future of our industry for this year and also the coming years. Now, I was announced as a keynote speaker. Personally, I think that's a bit too grand. I want to be more humble and propose that I share some observations with you. As Costa introduced me and the company, we're Fraport Greece. We operate 14 regional airports in this country. Not Athens though. Sometimes people think that we operate Athens, or people outside the industry also think that we operate Lufthansa or Aviation. We are confined to airports, 14 regional airports. Some of them are iconic destinations, and I think that's where the connect comes to aviation and tourism. Mykonos is one of them, Santorini, Kos, Corfu, Rhodes, Skiathos, Kavala, Zakynthos, Kefalonia, Chania, in Crete, of course. And not forget Crete, otherwise. It's a dangerous thing. So, 14 in total, I may have forgotten one. What's important is that we're around now for a little over 7 years. This is our 8th season. We've gone through a lot of ups and a lot of downs. We had the pandemic to deal with. This happened while we were still building and rebuilding our airport. So one thing I can say for sure is that we have seen great support in Greece from the government, from the industry, from literally all players. Great support, and especially from the Greek people who run this company, who built this company. As of today, I am literally the only expat in the company. We have around 850 employees, and the only, not even German, the only Austrian in the company is me. So all of us are Greek. It shows what privatization, what companies, what people can do given the right governance and given the right framework. Because there was a lot of, many people thought that, and especially the unions of IPA, the Air Traffic Control, the union, they said that we are the grave diggers of tourism. And we will ruin this country, and we will basically turn off the gateways to the country and to the economic growth. And I think with hindsight we can say this is absolutely not the case. On the contrary, I think we've done a lot of good things. And I'm happy to announce that last year we concluded with 34 million passengers. Just to give you an idea, in our bid that we submitted in 2014, we expected this. We expected to reach this milestone in the year 2033. So we are basically, in terms of traffic development, we are 9 years ahead of where we would be. We're still growing nicely this year so far. Not as much as Athens Airport, which is double digits. We are 9.6% until the end of May. June is around 5%, and we expect this to sort of slightly fade off also for the summer season, because we're already pretty much at capacity at most of our airports. So we expect to end the year with 35.5 million passengers. That translates into 3 to 4% growth versus last year. Now that would mean we would be 16, 17% above 2019. So that's always, you know, to see where the trajectory is. Of course, this is it's great. We're very happy about this milestone. Our shareholders are very happy. It shows that we did the right thing when we submitted our bid and when we imagined the project back in 2013 and 14. Because again, we submitted the project and our financial offer in the year 2014, and we paid up front 1.2 billion euros, and we invested another 500 million, of course, later on. So what does this have to do with tourism? We knew from the outset that this is a touristic investment. It's a pure touristic play. Fraport Group, as you may know, operates other kind of airports. Frankfurt, obviously, is a big hub. We operate Lima as a capital airport, which has a lot of all kinds of traffic. Touristic plays a little role, but it's not the driver. We have touristic airports in the portfolio, and the most prominent one is Antalya Airport. Anybody wants to give a guess of how many passengers Antalya have? You're excluded. But what is the level of Antalya? And we're currently expanding it.
30 million.
Yeah, it has 35 million passengers in 2019, and we're currently expanding it to 60. And that is also a pure touristic place. And the other two on a much smaller scale are Varna and Burgas in Bulgaria, and of course here 14 airports in Greece. You know, some people always were accusing us of following our own agenda and just caring about our own business. My response to that is that for every passenger that we welcome and that we handle at our airports, the economic benefit for the destination is 40 to 50 times bigger, because a passenger pays around 20 euros in terms of passenger charges, security, and all the other stuff. You will know that probably, so we are very much aligned with the communities we're in terms of where we want to go. And I remember the first meeting I had with Prime Minister Tsipras back in 2016. He said he wants actually 3 things from us. He wants investment, he wants jobs, and he wants tourists. So they're very simple, and I think we delivered that. Now, we delivered it from an airport perspective, and I think it would be arrogant to claim that it's just us. This has nothing to do with Fraport Greece. It is the exceptional performance of Greek tourism. And this is why I say we are depending on the performance of the Greek hotel owners, of the Greek investors, foreign investors. The whole idea of holidays in Greece is really what's driving our business plan. I remember a few years ago, I had a very difficult stakeholder meeting in Chania, and people were asking me what the business plan is for Chania and how many passengers we're projecting, what we're going to do, and which airline and all of this. Look, guys, you don't understand how this works. I can put in my business plan whatever I want. But you are the ones who are writing my business plan, and you are the ones who are executing my business plan, because if you don't have the hotels, the beach clubs, the shops, the venues, the golf courses, whatever the reasons are why people want to go on a place, without you, my business plan is nothing. So you're writing my business plan, not the other way around. Still difficult in Chania, but we're getting there, and I think we have done very well, especially in Chania, in teaming up with the local community, especially in expanding the season. So we are working with the hotel owners, the shops, the municipality, the governor, the vice governor, to create incentives for airlines to keep flying a week, 2 weeks longer into the fall, and maybe start a bit earlier. But that only works, and I think we all understand that only works if there's an offering for the tourists, for the passengers that come, because nobody wants to spend, a week in a town that's deserted. Imagine this place here with no people. Who wants to be here? But now with all of you, of course, it's a different story. So we are spending a lot of time and effort together with the local communities, with SETE, with the Marketing Greece, with all the organizations to promote destinations, to promote tourism, and I think we've been quite successful in Hanya. We do our part by providing off-season incentives to airlines, so we're reducing the passenger fees. That's our contribution to the whole thing. So now we're coming to the, let's say, to the downside of our own success, and we see it very prominently in 2 locations, and I guess you all know which they are. Santorini and Mykonos. Mykonos has taken a beating, not in the sense that they have lost traffic, but they were growing flat last year. Actually, it was minus 1.7% to be exact. And they're struggling also this year. Santorini, same thing, 0 growth, getting a little bit better over time in this year. So, but still, we see that there is less demand than we see in other destinations. I think I don't have to lecture you on what the reasons are, but there is price, especially in Santorini and Mykonos, and I've been there last weekend, and I can confirm it's crazy, it's nuts. The other, which is, but that can be corrected, and it will be corrected when people see that less people are coming. Supply and demand, I think, even Estonians understand the concept and will adjust at some point. The bigger problem I see, and this is what I keep sharing with literally everyone, is infrastructure. We fixed the airport infrastructure, we fixed the airlines, we fixed the hotels, the offering is great, but the infrastructure is not following. The road system, energy, water, wastewater, waste management. I think that, I observe this here in Athens, and I think that traffic management and traffic planning is not a forte of the Greek people. It's just left to happen, right? Of course, we all know that traffic in Athens is crazy. But, and I've asked the General Secretary in the Ministry of Transportation, what are your plans for the city? Oh, yeah, okay, we're buying buses. Okay, fine. No, that's good. I mean, it's a start, because the offering, the public transportation offering is deplorable. But we see 2 things happening. We see much more traffic, because the economy is growing. People are buying cars, so they go on the road. So that's one thing. We see the traffic jams going bigger and bigger and longer and longer. And where do you put these cars when you don't drive them? Because most cars are only driven, 2% of their lifetime, or 3 or 4? So most of the time they park somewhere. I try and park a car in Athens. I mean, right now, and now they start handing out tickets. So, but you have to provide, you have to do something. Now, what we see here in Athens, which is, of course, it's a big metropolis and it has different issues, we see the same thing happening in our destinations. People in Hanya, although they are complaining that we do not provide discounts to low-cost carriers, such as Ryanair and maybe others, maybe others, and airlines in general, because airlines feel an entitlement to get discounts for whatever they do. Right. But so they're complaining that we don't give enough incentives and we don't attract more traffic. At the same time, they're complaining about the traffic, and they say, I cannot drive into Hanya in the summer. I don't find a parking lot, and everything is crowded. So this is, and we're just at the beginning of this. So the public sector. And I don't care if the public sector can engage the private sector within airports. We need to provide more infrastructure. If not, we will become victims of our own success. Many of our destinations, Mykonos and Santorini are prime examples, they cannot take anymore. They can't. Because for a distance that is what, a kilometer, takes you 3 minutes during off season, it can take you an hour in Mykonos to go from So people don't want to go anymore. So the word over tourism is becoming a reality, and we need better concepts to manage. And a lot of this is in the hands, not of us, or of the airlines, or our industries, in the hands of the community. Another example, Santorini. In the summer, they have 5,000 vans. 5,000. And because there's all, of course, the hotels are luxurious, the hotels are nice, and they're, 2,000 euros a night. Of course, they want to be transported in black vans from the airport to somewhere in Chora, but there's no limit on the number of cars. So everybody brings a car to a van or 10 vans to Santorini and to Mykonos. There is, this needs to, let's say, transpire in the Greek, not only in politics, but also, I think, in the society, that if we don't start changing now, we will become victims of our own success. I think Greece has all the ingredients and all the requirements to become a successful, not only touristic destination, there's many other things as well, but if we don't fix this problem, the infrastructure problem, it's going to be very, very, very difficult. This is one of the observations I wanted to share with you, because it's really very dear to my heart, and I see how painful it can be, because now there's a lot of investment, touristic investment, hotel investment in this country, and if we see an orientation of touristic flows to other places, a lot of people will suffer. And this would be very sad, given the fact that we're just coming out of this very, very long crisis. So again, what we do is, as part of supporting this, we do a lot of, we engage in a lot with our stakeholders. But of course, we also now start modernizing our own infrastructure. We completed our initial work program in 21 on time, 48 months, where we delivered what we had to do. But we are now looking at expanding again the airports. Santorini is our first project for Corfu, Mykonos. These are the airports that need expansion. And we are, of course, constantly adjusting. And now we are having a complete overhaul of the airports from a processing and processor point of view. Our plan is to, within the next few years, to make all our airports 100% self-baggage drop-off. So we know that there's demand from airlines. Some want automated drop-off, others don't. We said, okay, we don't have the space. We are very confined with small airports, very seasonal, so we need to be as efficient as possible. So our goal is, latest by 2026, to become 100% self-baggage drop-off. And to expand this now and then go through all the processing points as we move along. E-gates, biometrics, and hopefully, as soon as it becomes available, new generation of the security scanners to walk through security scanners. So we have a lot of investments lined up, which is very exciting, because people thought that, okay, yeah, we invest $500 million to turn the airport around and then it's over. On the contrary, now it's when the big when we do a complete overhaul of our processes with the aim of improving the passenger experience, becoming more efficient, and in general make traveling a lot easier than it is. At the same time, of course, we have to reduce carbon. Don't have to speak much about that. 2045 is our goal for net zero. Not as ambitious as Athens Airport, which I think next year, I'm talking to Yanis, I think they're struggling a bit to get there, but nevertheless, it's very ambitious, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. You may also know that we are currently investing around 100 million euros under the Recovery and Resilience Fund into our airside infrastructure. We are fixing the strips and becoming more EASA compliant than we were. And on top of that, we are investing around 50 million euros every year into smaller things, bigger things. We're just buying 20 new firefighting vehicles, and so it's an ongoing process of continuous investment. to keep where we are. So maybe a last word on the outlook. As I said, I think that Greece has all the ingredients for great economic recovery and economic growth. I think the difference last year between Germany and Greece was 3 percentage points, and Greece was much stronger than Germany. I think we need to keep the momentum. We need to keep going. Also, as our industry, and I'm not only talking about tourism, but also especially aviation, and that's where I see a big threat from policymaking, because not in Greece, on a European level, and especially in Germany, because there is a tendency to see aviation as probably the biggest culprit in CO2 emissions, which we all know is not true, and damning air travel. In Germany, the flight chain is a reality. It's not called like this. They don't use the term really, but nowadays you can hardly admit to traveling domestic on an airplane in Germany, or you're being frowned upon. It's not good. And if this continues, and accordingly, German politicians don't want to be seen with either airport representatives or airline representatives who are toxic, because we're the bad guys. There is an aviation tax, there is CO2 taxes, all the things that they come up with. And what I think is problematic, that all this will end up making air travel much more expensive. And this is contrary to the very idea of what we're actually trying to build in Europe. A place where an Austrian can live in Greece, where a Greek can live and work elsewhere in Europe. My son is studying in Hamburg. My girlfriend is in London. So is this all necessary? No, it's not. But what would be the world without if air travel would be very expensive? So I think that apart from these factors, I think the Greek economy is at great risk if this is implemented, because as a country that is on the periphery of Europe and cannot be reached without a plane, if these things would be put into practice, we would all suffer. So this is one of the things that keep me up at night and that concern me in terms of the very good development that we've seen so far and the promising outlook we have. This is something where I think we all need to work hard and push forward to come up with better ideas and solutions that will help policymakers change their stance. So, actually I wanted to end on a happier note than that, but again, we see maybe we'll talk about this during the rest of the evening. We see for us, I mentioned it, around 3 to 4% growth for this year. A lot of it is driven by capacity restrictions from airlines. We have delivery problems. We have the neo engine problem. We know that a number of airlines have actually reduced capacity to Greece because they didn't have the aircraft to fly, although they wanted to fly. So I think that overall we have a very positive outlook with good chances to move our industry and to move this country forward. So with this, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and now on to the next part of the program. Thank you very much.